Well, hello again. I hope you're enjoying our study of international accounting so far. You see behind me a Belgian wall tapestry, and this has been an important product, export product for Belgium for hundreds of years. And when we were studying Chapter 1, we learned that soon as a company starts international transactions, they start running into some of the problems associated with international accounting. And we also saw then in Chapter 2 that there is a great deal of diversity in terms of accounting standards worldwide. And how many of you remember which clusters or which group of countries Belgium is associated with in terms of their accounting standards? Well, if you said continental Europe, then that would be correct, since it is part of the continent of Europe. But what's kind of interesting about that is the scene in this wall tapestry is more of a windmill and more associated with Belgium's next door neighbor, which is Holland, also called the Netherlands. And do you remember which cluster the Netherlands or Holland was associated with more closely? Well, if you said Anglo-American or Anglo-Saxon, then that would be correct. So here we have two very small countries on continental Europe that are influenced by completely different sets of accounting standards, one going more toward the continental Europe model and one going more toward the Anglo-Saxon model. But what is really more interesting and more relevant to us at this particular point in time is that the European Union and continental Europe are really leading the way away from diversity and more toward standardization. Now, because continental Europe has been a leader, and so has the European Union, in terms of adopting a standardized set of accounting standards, and those particularly being the International Financial Reporting Standards. So Great Britain and France and Italy and Belgium and Holland and a number of other countries have adopted these standards, International Financial Reporting Standards. So they're kind of leading the way in terms of harmonization worldwide of standards. China in 2006 also adopted International Financial Reporting Standards. Now, there's something that's very important about both of these adoptions. You see, the European Union adopted International Financial Reporting Standards, but not completely as they are written. They made some adjustments. China adopted International Financial Reporting Standards, but not completely as they were originally written. There are some changes. So here we have a move toward standardization, but at the same time, areas of the world and countries of the world are adopting those International Financial Reporting Standards just a little bit differently. So this is going to be an important aspect of accounting standards in the coming years. And so in the next two chapters, in Chapter 3 and Chapter 4, we're going to study more about those International Financial Reporting Standards. Now, how did they develop? How are they different from what we do in U.S. GAAP? Will the U.S. adopt International Financial Reporting Standards? Now, what are the issues that interfere with worldwide standardization of accounting and financial reporting standards? You know, there's some of the same issues that we saw in Chapter 2 that lead to diversity in the first place among accounting standards worldwide. And those are the historical and the cultural and the political and the economic issues that tend to shape the business practices within countries. We're going to face those same difficulties as we try and look at international financial reporting standards as a way of standardizing accounting and financial reporting on a worldwide basis. So, where does the U.S. stand on this? What are the advantages and disadvantages of going along with what's going on in the rest of the world in terms of the international financial reporting standards. What is that going to mean, more importantly, to you and your careers in accounting? Well, we're going to look at international financial reporting standards in Chapter 3, and then we're going to get into more detail about how those standards are different from what we do in U.S. GAAP in Chapter 4. And as we do this, I'd like for you to think about how this might affect you and your accounting careers, whether you're planning to work in public accounting for one of the large worldwide accounting firms, or whether you're working regionally or in a local firm, or whether you're in taxation, for example. Just how will this affect you as you develop in your accounting career? Well, I look forward to learning with you as we go into Chapters 3 and 4. See you later.